Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hive Talking, the official pregame show of your Buffalo Bees. Hive Talking is brought to you by BG's Engine Products because your car should be dancing. Yeah. I'm Ronnie Robinson, along with my broadcast partner Kip Scarry, coming to you from legendary Bitty Beer Ballpark, home of those New England Minutemen. Kip, did you get a sample of any of the Bitty Beer?
I did more than sample, Ronnie. I think I had a few too many, but they were good.
Wow, Kip, are you going to be able to broadcast the game with me?
I will drink some coffee. Give it a shot, Ronnie.
Well, fortunately, your interview with Ignacio Orta was recorded before you hit the Bitty Beer. And we're going to go to that interview right now.
I'm here with free agent infielder Ignacio Orta. Ignacio, thanks for sitting down with me tonight.
It's my pleasure, Kip.
You joined the Bees when the rosters expanded and have filled in for Rayford and Overbeck when they needed a day off. Last night in Milwaukee, you did more than that. You went 3 for 4, missing the cycle by not getting a single. You must have really liked that Milwaukee pitching. In fact, in just 6 games and 17 at-bats, you were hitting .412 with 2 doubles, 2 triples, a home run, and 5 runs driven in. And good plate discipline on top of that, 2 walks with only 1 strikeout. How do you count for your success so far?
I see the ball really well last night. I hope it's the start of good things to come. All of my teammates were very welcoming when I arrived, and I fit in right away.
I hope so. Ironically, you are not in the lineup tonight, but be ready because your name could get called for pinch hitting duties.
Oh, absolutely. It is important to stay sharp and be at your best when called upon. It is the life of a utility player.
You keep that hot hitting up and you won't stay utility for long. You'll be taking someone's starting job.
That's the goal of every player. I hope to obtain that.
It just might happen. Well, good luck to you the rest of the season.
Thank you, Kip.
For being my guest on Hive Talking, Ignacio Orta will receive dinner for 2 at Hooligans. For the rest in prime rib and steaks, come to Hooligans where it's better when the gang is all here. Now back to you, Ronnie.
Thank you so much, Kip. Now let's look at our starting lineups for both teams. First, the starting pitchers, and it's a stellar matchup. The 2 best for each teams. It is Fernando De La Rosa for the New England Minutemen. He's an ace double flash with semi-control, and he'll be taking on the number 1 starter for the Buffalo Bees, Steve Show. And this will be the 4th start for Steve Show. He's 2-0 with a 1.64 ERA, 22 innings pitched, 17 hits, 13 walks, and 17 strikeouts. The walk's a little high, but other than that, he's been pitching very, very well. And as we take a look, New England manager Steve Tower and Buffalo manager Danny Lee are at home plate exchanging the lineup cards with the umpires and going over the ground rules here at Bitty Beer Park, which plays small for lefties and semi-small for righties. And speaking of the umpires, Greg Finney will be calling the balls and strikes. Vince Terrasas is at first base. The crew chief, Ed Crespo, is handling duties at second base, and stationed at third base is Randy Moreau. And the umpires are brought to you by Elmwood Village Optical in Buffalo. Visit Elmwood for all your vision needs. If you go anywhere else, you'll only be making a spectacle of yourself. Well, it's time for station identification. You are listening to the Buffalo Bees Radio Network.
Catch all the Bees action on News Radio 1140 WPLA Buffalo. Welcome back to Bitty Beer Park. De La Rosa is finishing up the warm-up tosses, and now while I still can, I'm going to toss it over to the voice of the Bees, Ronnie Robinson.
Thanks, Kip. Drink another cup of coffee, and maybe you'll be all right by the 3rd inning. Well, folks, we are ready for this matchup here in the Eastern Division. Buffalo leads the division at 12-4, and New England not had good rolls on the instant results chart. They have dropped to 8-8. They are 4 games back of the Bees and looking to make up some ground here in front of the home folks at Bitty Beer Park. Fernando De La Rosa getting the start for the Minutemen as we're in the rotations where both teams are throwing their number 1 starters, and that's why they're the pitching matchup is what it is. And before we get to that first pitch, let's look at today's hot and cold players. Since New England, we don't know what they did in their last game, so we're using the standard batter number 2 is hot and batter number 8 is cold. And actually, before we do that, let's go through the starting lineups. I meant to do that. I only did the pitchers. I meant to do the hitters. Let's go through the starting lineups for both teams. Leading off for the Bees in left field is Greg Dollywall. Batting second, the designated hitter, Dylan Hutto. Hitting third in center field is Joe Barkdahl. Todd Sargent cleans up at first base. Dallas Autry, the catcher, will hit fifth. And back from injury, his first game back, J.R. Keel is taking over back at third base. Rue Ellis was playing third while he was gone, but now Keel is back. Rocky Oberbeck's at second base, hitting seventh. Nick Rayford, the shortstop, hits eighth. And Lamont Clark, the right fielder, will bat ninth. For the New England Minutemen, Jimmy Pastor will lead off in center field. Sean Carty is in right field, batting second. Corbin Young, the young power-hitting first baseman and slick-fielding first baseman, is going to bat third. Batting cleanup is the catcher, Dominic Tozzi. Hitting fifth and doing the designated hitting, it is Dexter Ford. Hitting sixth in left field is Mike Kettle. Batting seventh, playing second base, is Isaias Hinojosa. Trevor Boston will take care of third base duties and bat eighth. And batting ninth is Porfirio Conti, the shortstop. All right, now let's look at the hot and cold players. Again, for the New England Minutemen, it's the number 2 hitter and the number 8 hitter. Number 2 is going to be hot, 8 is going to be cold. So Carty is hot, Boston is cold. Based on last game's performances, Dylan Hutto is the cold batter for the Bees. The hot batter is Todd Sargent. And as a reminder, the hot batter or hot players for each team is sponsored by the Paper Moon Gentlemen's Club. For the best in adult entertainment that is sure to provide a hot time, shoot for the moon. The cold players of each team are sponsored by the Deli Llama. For the best in gourmet cheeses and quality cold cuts, stop by the Deli Llama. Okay, De La Rosa finishing up those warm-up tosses. And we'll give you the stats for the Bees players as they come up to bat. And leading things off will be left fielder Greg Dollywall. And on the season, Dollywall has been struggling. Dollywall's hitting .222, 8 for 36 on the season in 12 games. A homer and 3 runs driven in. So they're hoping that leadoff spot between Lamont Clark and Dollywall, they've kind of been flip-flopping. When a righty's on the mound, it's usually Dollywall. When a lefty's on the mound, they flip-flop and put Clark in the leadoff spot and Dollywall ninth. I've also had Ranieri shuffle in once in a while, but just that leadoff spot has just been the one thing that has just not gotten it for the Bees the way they want to. Bees have won 3 in a row, so they are semi-harmonious on the game day check, but had no effect. And always the Bees' opponents are always neutral, never dissonant, never harmonious, so New England is dissonant. Buffalo, again, 12-4, started the season 0-3, then went on a 9-game winning streak before getting that snapped, and then they've won 3 in a row since then to improve to 12-4. So they've won 12 out of the last 13, and they got these 3 games here in New England, and then Kip will have to get his passport ready because we're going north of the border to Montreal to face on the Royal Blues to continue the road trip, and then the road trip will finally end in Nashville. Country Music USA, that's where the road trip will end, and then we'll be back home after that. All right, so De La Rosa ready to go here against Dollywall. And we're underway. 4-6-6. 4-6-6 is a control. He has semi-control. Decider gives it to him. That means it's going to be base hit. Pitch is read by Dollywall for a single. So how about that? Get that control check. It usually helps you, but in this case, De La Rosa got too much of the plate, was around it too much, and Dollywall was waiting on it. And Dollywall will get himself a leadoff single. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Dylan Hutto. He had been hot for a while, has cooled off lately. Hutto is only hitting .212 in 11 out of 52 in 14 games. He's got 4 homers and 8 runs driven in, so he does lead the team in home runs. That's a 1.56. Is the batter a whiffer? Yes, he is. Struck him out. So Big strikeout there for Fernando de la Rosa. And it may not be I'm sure it won't be his last strikeout either. So one down. Brings up center fielder Joe Barkdahl. Barkdahl for the season is hitting .260, 13 out of 50, a homer and 8 runs driven in. They were hoping for more power, and that may still come. We shall see. That's a 2.56. He's not a struggler. De La Rosa is not. Champion or patient. He is semi-patient and semi-champion, but the dot is not there, so we go to infield drama instead. It will not be a walk. It will be infield drama. And for the Minutemen, Yang is gold, Boston is iron, everybody else is neutral. So we don't even need the decider die on this one. We get a 4-5 on infield drama. Shortstop iron. Shortstop in this case is Hinojosa. Is Conte. He is not iron. So since he's not iron, it will be bobbled, but the on-time throw gets the batter out at first. The runner will advance. So Dollywall will make it to second base. Out's going to go 6-3. And that'll bring up the designated hot batter. I said bitter because I'm so used to Bitty Beer Ballpark, I guess. But it's going to bring up the hot batter, Todd Sargent, with 2 outs and a runner at second base. Time for Sargent to bring home the first run of the game for the Bees, if at all possible. Sargent on the season is hitting .321. He's 18 out of 56. 2 homers and 9 runs driven in, so he's certainly capable to get it done, but De La Rosa is going to be tough. 2-3-5. Is pitcher wild? No. Is he eager? Yes, he is. He's going to single through the shortstop, so how about that? He's not a whiffer, so don't have to worry about whiffing, but 2-3-5 is a single through short. Lead die of 2. Active runner on let's see here. Runner advances 1 bases on singles. Active runner scores from first on double or second from any hit. Dollywall is active. He will score. And the Bees jump on top of De La Rosa 1-0. Here in the top of the first, the hot hitter, Sargent, keeps his hot ways and gets a base hit. Bees lead it 1-0. And Steve Tower, a little chagrin on his face, wondering what's happening to his ace out there, De La Rosa. And what happened to him is Todd Sargent. Boy, you got to give up that leadoff run in the top of the first before you even come to bat. Sargent can make it feel like you got kicked in the privates. So that brings up Dallas Autry. And Autry is hitting .361, 13 of 36. In just 10 games, they've been trying to rest him at catcher so he doesn't get worn out. 13 of 36, 2 homers and 8 runs driven in. 2-3-6 is double control. He does not have it. And he's not eager, so the walk will stand. And how about that? The Bees have more action going. Dallas Autry draws a 2-out walk. And that's going to bring up the third baseman returning from injury, J.R. Keel. He missed 5 games due to injury. And on the season, J.R. Keel is hitting .343. In 10 games, he's 12 of 35. No homers and 2 runs driven in, but his average is up there pretty well. So here is J.R. Keel, his first at bat since coming back from injury, trying to add to the lead. 1-1-2 flash. Yes, it's double flash actually, so he will strike out. It is the third out of the inning, so it does not carry over to the next inning. It's just a strikeout, and J.R. Keel is retired, and so are the Bees, but not before they sting Mr. De La Rosa for a leadoff run in the first inning. And after half an inning of play here at Bitty Beer Ballpark, it is Buffalo 1 and the Minutemen coming to bat. And we'll be right back in just a moment. Okay, we're ready to start the bottom of the first. And the Bees getting that early run on De La Rosa has got to make Steve Show feel pretty good about himself. And we'll go over his numbers one more time. We told you about it in the pregame, but he is 2-0 with a 1.64 ERA in 3 previous starts. 22 innings pitched, 17 hits, 4 runs. They were earned, 13 walks and 17 strikeouts. And again, the walks are the concerning part. So he's got semi-control. He's just getting some bad luck. So we'll see what happens here against Jimmy Pastor, the center fielder for the Minutemen. 1-4-5. Is he a struggler? No, it's going to be a ground out to third base. So easy play for J.R. Keel, 1 away. And that's going to bring up the right fielder, Sean Carty. He is the designated hot player for this game. Switch hitter. 1-2-2. Is the pitcher a workman? No, he's not. Is he a champion or a whiffer? He's a semi-champion. Decider gives it to him. So that means, being a semi-champion, he is going to nub an infield single right to Keel, but Keel can't get it in time, and Carty will beat the throw and reach on an infield single. Little grass worm burner, worm nubber, I guess you call it. And Carty is aboard with 1 out. And that'll bring up probably New England's best hitter, Corbin Young, first baseman. Show's got to be careful with him. Whoa, triple sixes. That's not what they wanted. He's not an ace. He's not a sad sack. It's a glove check. It's going to be a glove check, and unless this is a check for center field, it's not going to matter. This has to be a 2 to have any chance of stopping it. It is a 2, so that means center fielder Gold, he leaps. Yes, the center fielder is Gold. That's Barkdahl. He leaps. So we go to the he leaps chart, and this has to be a 1 or else it's out of here. Unbelievable. It is caught. A highlight reel play from center fielder Joe Barkdahl just literally robbed Corbin Young. I mean, put a rob exclamation point on that one. He was robbed. Do you believe that roll? Those 2 rolls in a row. 2 for the center fielder Gold leaps, and 1 means he's got it. What do you think of that, Ronnie? All right, what do you think of that, Kip? Kip, you okay over there?
What happened, Ronnie?
You just missed a go play by Joe Barkdahl. Has that coffee not kicked in yet?
I'm feeling a little woozy, but I'm coming around.
Well, pay attention. You're missing some great baseball. So Corbin Young, really dejected, and manager Steve Tower, really got to be chomping at the bit and wondering what's going on, thinking maybe something's rigged. So that'll bring up Dominic Tosi, the catcher. 3-6-6. He's not a pinch hitter. He will fly to center. And Barkdahl, a much easier play this time, will put it away. And at the end of 1, it is Buffalo 1 and New England nothing. And the fans here at Bitty Bear Ballpark cannot believe what they just saw. We go to the top of the second. And it will be, for the Bees, it will be Rocky Oberbeck to lead things off. And on the season replay, Oberbeck is hitting .220. He's 9 out of 41 in 11 games. A homer and 3 runs driven in. .344. Is a prospect pitcher? No, he's a semi-icon. Is a batter patient? No, he's not. He will pop to second, and that's 1 away. As Oberbeck pops to second base to end the to begin the inning, rather. 1 down, as Hinojosa put that away. For Mr. Nick Rayford, shortstop. Young Nick Rayford doing well for himself, hitting .297. He's 11 out of 37 in 11 games. A homer and 5 runs driven in. So 115, is he fresh? Yes, he is fresh, of course. And the pop-up's going to go to De La Rosa. Just popped it up right in front of the mound, and De La Rosa doesn't bother asking anybody else to field it. He fields it himself, 2 down. And that'll bring up Lamont Clark. And on the season replay, Lamont Clark again struggling from the leadoff position or number 9 position. He's played both. He's hitting .216, 8 out of 37 in 10 games. No homers and 1 run driven in. So that third outfield position, actually both outfield positions have been giving him trouble, as Barkdahl's doing okay, but Dollywall and Clark have been struggling. 256, speaking of struggling, asking a struggling pitcher, no. Champion or patient, no. Infield drama, again, for the Minutemen. We had a 5-6 on infield drama. First baseman Gold. Yes, Corbin Young is Gold. So since he's Gold, He grabs a poor throw, and the throw came from the third baseman. So Trevor Boston tried to airmail it, but Corbin Young was able to stretch and get it and record the 5-3 putout for a 1-2-3 inning here in the top of the second. Bees go quietly in the second. We go to the bottom of the second. It is Buffalo 1 and the Minutemen nothing. Steve Show back out. And he's continued to enjoy the one-run lead up to this point, at least. And leading off for the Minutemen in the bottom of the second will be Dexter Ford, the designated hitter. 3-5-6, and he is a lefty versus the right-hander. That's going to be a base hit. So the left-right split comes into play right away here in the second inning. And Dexter Ford gets himself a base hit. He motors on down to first base with the leadoff single. And that'll send up Mike Kettle, the left fielder. Mike Kettle, another lefty, facing Show. 4-5-6. Is the batter patient? No, he's going to fly to center. And that's one away. And it's also in purple, so we're going to the chemistry chart for the next at bat, which belongs to Isaias Hinojosa. The Minutemen are neutral, and the Buffalo Bees are semi-harmonious.
Ronnie, before I forget, that was the 10th out of the inning. The 10th out is brought to you by 10 Pin Bowling Centers that remind you if you have some spare time and you haven't been bowling in a while, you should. It's right down your alley.
Thank you, Kip. All right, so we go to the chemistry chart. Semi-harmonious against neutral for the at-bat of Hinojosa. Now both teams are neutral. 1-3. Pitching team harmony, no. It's a base hit, so a single. And Ford, let's check the base running advancement. Lead die of 1. Advance one base, so Ford will make it to second base. Hinojosa will stop at first, of course, with that 2-out single. Keeps the inning going for Trevor Boston. And that result was in blue, so we're going to the right now chart. And giving up that base hit makes Show semi-cold. And Boston, having not hit yet, he is neutral. So semi-cold pitcher against a neutral batter on the right now chart. Now they're both neutral. 5-6. Hot pitcher, no. If he was, he'd show best stuff and get alternating flyouts and groundouts. But instead, since he's not, it's infield drama. And we know from history, when you get the Bees go to the drama chart, it is usually bad news. We get a 1-2. Shortstop iron. Shortstop Rayford is semi-iron, but the dot is not there. So this time he will make the play. I'm sorry, it would be a 2-base error if he was iron, but since he's not iron, it's only going to be a 1-base error. He would have to be gold to make the play. It's actually a 1-base error on Rayford, so he couldn't catch a break. He wasn't iron, but he still made the error. The only difference is a 1-base error versus a 2-base error. And now the Minutemen have loaded the bases. Bases are loaded with 2 down for Porfirio Conti, rather. So now Show has really got to bear down. That he's got to shake off that E6 and not let it bother him, and concentrate and get out of this inning. Bases loaded, 2 down for Conti. 3-4-5. Iron catcher, no. Does he have a good eye? No. Struck him out, and that's exactly what Steve Show needed, and he got it. He strikes out Conti to end the inning and keeps the score 1-0 for the Bees. That results in blue, so we're going to the right now chart for the top of the third. But at least for the moment, we need to take all the dejected Minutemen base runners off the base paths, and the left on bases could come back to bite them later in the game. Here is De La Rosa. He is the starting the third inning, so it's the last inning of semi-freshness for him. Top of the order for the Bees is Dollywall, and Dollywall singled his first time up. I'm sorry, we're on the right now chart. My bad, right now chart because of the strikeout. So let's go to the right now chart. Dollywall is semi-hot and neutral for De La Rosa because the last batter he faced Clark grounded out. So Dollywall is semi-hot. De La Rosa is neutral. He is a hot batter. 1-3 says cold pitcher, no. So it's a fly out to center field. And so De La Rosa got away with one there. Avoided the hot batter and got an easy fly to center. One down for Dylan Hutto. Hutto struck out his first chance. He is the designated cold batter in this game. 1-2-3, flash and fresh. Yes, it's a double flash, but not double fresh. So it will not be a strikeout. It will be a ground out to short instead. So had that dot been there, he would have struck out both the next two batters. But since he didn't have the freshness quality, that flash quality does not come into play. So it's 2 down. And that's going to send us to Joe Barkdahl, the man who robbed the home run last inning. De La Rosa's kind of giving him a look. 2-6-6. He's not the leadoff batter. He will fly to right field, and that's going to end the inning. So 1-2-3 inning for De La Rosa. And we go to the bottom of the third. Still 1-0 Minutemen trail. Steve show his potential. Well, it is his last inning of full freshness. He will turn to semi-freshness starting in the fourth. And he's going to face the top of the order, Jimmy Pastor. Pastor grounded to third his first chance. 3-3-4. Ace or star. He is a star, so that's going to be a pop out to first. And Pastor pops it up to Todd Sargent for one away. And that will send us to Sean Carty, the right fielder. Carty singled his first time up, but was stranded at first base. 1-3-5, that's the unusual play, and it's a blue 1, so we're going to the umpires for the first time. The umpires will come into play with the bases empty. We get a 4-6. Bases empty, 4-6. Lenient umpire at home. The home plate umpire is Greg Finney. He is not lenient. He's respected, but he's not lenient. So not lenient this time. If he was lenient, a full count visiting batter strikes out, home batter walks. Other umpires strike 3 on any batter. So since he wasn't lenient, that will be a strikeout for Carty. He would have walked on the home field advantage had he been lenient, but that didn't work out for the Minutemen. And again, a little mumbling coming from the dugout over there from Steve Tower. Wonder if this thing is rigged. Here's Corbin Young. He had the home run robbed. I mean, literally robbed from him. Show 1-3-4. Goal catcher, no. Is he a champion? Yes, he is. He's going to single to left field. So Corbin Young gets a 2-out single to keep the inning going. Because he's a champion, this at bat. So 2 down, and that's going to bring up Dominic Tazi. 4-5-5. Does the pitcher have flash? Yes, he does. Struck him out. So that's going to end the inning. So Show pitches around the Corbin Young single. 3 innings are in the books. It is the Bees 1 and the Minutemen nothing from Bitty Beer Ballpark. How you doing over there, Kip?
I'm feeling a little bit better, Ronnie. I'll kick it into gear here in a little bit.
Well, let's hope so, Kip. I don't want to do this thing all by myself. All right, De La Rosa now, semi-fresh to start the top of the fourth. And he'll be facing Todd Sargent, who had the RBI single his first time up. And since we're in the fourth inning, that is the New York Lottery home run inning. If any Buffalo player homers in the fourth inning, one lucky listener will win a jackpot of now $750. Tonight's contestant is Constance Hadley of Buffalo. Good luck, Constance. You got the good man up there, Todd Sargent, a semi-home run king. So maybe he can put one over the fence for you. 3-5-6 is a left-right split. That is actually going to be a Circle K. Righty on righty is going to be a strikeout. Circle K strikeout, the first Circle K strikeout of the game. And that is sponsored by Circle K Convenience Stores. 4 Buffalo area locations. Stop by if you need cool refreshments or a tank of gas, and they'll take care of you. Circle K. All right, here's Dallas Autry. 3-4-5. Iron catcher. Otazi is not iron. Good eye. No. Struck him out. So Autry down on strikes for out number 2. That's in blue. We're going to the right now chart, so it doesn't look good for Constance. It is J.R. Keel on the right now chart. De La Rosa is semi-hot. Keel is semi-cold from striking out his first time up. All right. Hot and cold both ways. 3-6. 3-6. Cold pitcher, no. It's going to be a pop out to the catcher, and that's going to end the inning. So 1-2-3 inning. De La Rosa didn't play around. He retired the Bees in order, 1-2-3, as he popped it up to Tazi to end the inning. And unfortunately, Constance, no home run this inning. The jackpot will increase to $800 for the next ball game. And as a consolation prize, Constance will receive $50 in New York Lottery scratch-off tickets, courtesy of the New York Lottery. Bottom of the 4th we go. Steve Show, semi-fresh, will be facing Dexter Ford. Ford singled his first time up on that lefty-righty split. One, 3-5. That is the rare play again, or unusual play again. Black 1. We're going to the ballpark. And Biddy Beer Ballpark plays small to lefty. So Ford's a lefty. It's going to be a small ballpark check. We get a 2-2. Artificial turf ballpark. Sharply hit caroms off the carpet for a single. Otherwise, it's a routine ground out. So we're playing on grass. It's going to be a ground out, and it's going to go to the shortstop, Rayford. So since it's regular grass and not turf, it does not get by him for a base hit. He will be able to range over and make the play for out number 1. 1 down from Mike Kettle. And Kettle flew to center his first chance. 5-5-6. Is he an ace? No. Sad sack? No. It's going to be a double to right field from Mike Kettle. So Kettle, a 1-out double. And maybe the Minutemen have something cooking here in the bottom of the 4th against Mr. Show. Here's Hinojosa. Hinojosa singled his first time up. 1-3-5 again. It's black 1. We're going right back to the ballpark again. So back to Biddy Beer Ballpark, which is a small ballpark, so Show's got to be careful. 5-6. Big ballpark. Outfielder makes grab along fence for a flyout. Otherwise, slugger or home run king wallops a home run. Well, he's a slugger, so it's gone. Hinojosa, it's a 2-run homer. If he wasn't a slugger or home run king, he would have flied out, but he's a slugger, so that's a 2-run homer. And kaboom, all of a sudden the Minutemen have just taken the lead 2-1 thanks to Isaias Hinojosa. He slugged a 2-run shot, and the Minutemen now grab a 2-1 lead on the Bees here in the bottom of the 4th, and Steve Show not too happy about that.
Yeah, Ronnie, what happened? I heard the loud bang and it kind of startled me a bit.
You just missed a 2-run homer, Kip. Hopefully by the next inning, or by the 6th inning at least, you'll be awake. All right, here's Trevor Boston. Get that Biddy Beer through your system. Boston, 2-3-4. Is he there's nobody on base. Is he a hot batter? No, he's actually the cold batter. So he's going to pop to third for out number 2. 2 down for Conti. But the Minutemen have a 2-1 lead, and they've turned that 2-1 lead over to Mr. De La Rosa. 1-4-6. Flash, yes, struck him out. It's going to end the inning. So Conti goes down on strikes. But profitable inning for New England as they now take a 2-1 lead as we head to the 5th here at Biddy Beer Ballpark. 2-1 Minutemen, and Mr. De La Rosa now has a 2-1 lead to work with. And as we start the top of the 5th, a reminder that the 5th inning is sponsored by the law offices of Howie, Cheatham, and Daly. That reminds you, when all else fails, just plead the 5th. So, top of the 5th, and it is Mr. Overbeck. It'll be Overbeck, Rayford, and Clark, bottom third of the order against De La Rosa. Overbeck popped to second, his first chance. 2-4-6, control pitcher. Yes, he is a control pitcher in this at bat. It's a ground ball back to De La Rosa. Easy play. One down. And that's going to bring up Nick Rayford. Hit a little pop up to De La Rosa his first time up. Oh, we'll try that again. 3-6-6. He's not a pinch hitter, so he will fly to center. That is out number 2 for Lamont Clark. So De La Rosa settling in and actually going back to the first inning. De La Rosa has now retired 12 in a row, going for lucky 13. Clark 1-6-6. De La Rosa's not a workman. Is he a whiffer? No, he's not. It's a ground out to third, and that's going to end the inning. That is in red, so we're going to the experience chart for the bottom of the 5th. But nothing doing for the Bees. We go to that bottom of the 5th. It's 2-1. Favor of the Minutemen. And we will be going to the experience chart for the first at bat of Pastor against Show. Show is an icon. Pastor is a prospect, so definitely will be favoring the Bees to get this matchup of the icon pitcher against the prospect batter on the right now chart. I'm sorry, on the experience chart, rather. 1-3 on experience chart. Prospect pitcher, no. So it's a ground out to third. So he gets Pastor to ground out to Keel. One down. And we go over to Sean Carty. Singled in the first, struck out in the third. 1-3-6. He's not an ace. Is he whiffer or cold? Carty struck out his last time up, which would make him semi-cold. Doc gives it to him, so he's cold. He's going to strike out again. So Carty with the whiff, thanks to the dot. And that's 2 down for Corbin Young, who singled his last time up. 1-2-4, control pitcher. Yes, the dot gives it to him. It's a ground out to short. Easy play for Rayford, and the Minutemen go quietly here in the 5th. So we go to the 6th. It's still 2-1, and this is the last inning of semi-freshness for both pitchers coming up. As De La Rosa in a little battle with Steve Show. 2-1 your score. And coming up for the Bees at the top of the order in Dollywall. Dollywall 1 for 2. He singled to lead the game off and then flew to center his last time up. 3-4-5. Iron catcher, no. Good eye, no. He's going to go down on strikes, and De La Rosa continues his dominance since giving up the run in the first inning. Here's Dylan Hutto. Hutto's 0 for 2. Struck out in the first. Grounded to short in the third. 1-3-5 again. We're going to the ballpark again as a 1. I'm sorry, not the ballpark. We're going to, yes, the ballpark because it's a 1. We're going to the ballpark. We're going to Biddy Beer Ballpark once again with the black die being a 1. So Biddy Beer Ballpark plays small, and Hutto is a home run king and a slugger, semi-slugger. So maybe the Bees can tie it up right here at Biddy Beer Ballpark. 1-2, big ballpark. Driving liner gets into center field for a single. Otherwise, center field makes catch on the flyout. So since it wasn't a big ballpark, it's actually for a righty, it actually plays semi-small. So I really needed the decider die, I guess, to see if it was semi-small or not. It was not. It was neutral, so didn't matter. It wasn't a big ballpark, so therefore it didn't drop in for the hit. It is simply a fly out number 2. And again, De La Rosa is like a machine out there now, just retiring guys left and right. Here's Barkdahl. 3-3-4. Is he an ace or a star? He is an ace. It's a pop out to first. Young hauls it in, ends the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. De La Rosa large and in charge, and the Bees are going to have a very tough time getting that run back. Down 2-1. They're going to have to maybe see if they can chase De La Rosa and get to the bullpen. Steve Show is going to hang out as well. His last inning of semi-freshness coming up, and Dominic Tazi is your batter. Tazi, 0 for 2, flew to center in the first, struck out in the third. 2-2-3. Wild, no. Slugger or utility, neither one. So he's going to single to left field. If he's active, he would steal, but he's stoic. So leadoff single for Mr. Tazi, the catcher. He leads off the bottom of the 6th with a base hit, as the Minutemen try to increase their lead. For Mr. Tazi. So Tazi is aboard. And that'll bring up Dexter Ford. 1-1-5. Is he fresh? Yes, the Saturday gives it to him. So it's a pop out to the infielder of our choice, and the infielder of our choice is going to be the first baseman, Sargent. So pop out to first, one away. The dot was kind to Mr. Show on this particular occasion. Here's Mike Kettle. Kettle doubled and scored his last time up. 1-2-6. He's not fresh this time. Is Kettle a sad sack? No, he's going to single past second. And that's going to put runners at first and second with only one out. And it's also going to take us to the right now chart for Hinojosa, who hit a home run his last time up. And he would be hot. And Show would be cold. But if you're the Bees, do you make a pitching change? That's the question. Is that worthy of a pitching change? Because a pitching change would put you back on the regular chart, but also make your pitcher an ace. So they're going to make the move. They're going to pull Steve Show. They don't want to do it this early necessarily, but they feel like the situation dictates it. And they're going to bring in left-handed pitching. Derek No. Dr. No is going to come in and try to get out of this. So Derek No will be on to try to pitch out of the mess with one out and two on. He is an ace this at bat because he's coming in mid-frame, and we're not going to be off the right now chart. We're going to be off the standard chart. Hinojosa, lefty on lefty against Derek No. 3-4-6, almost got that lefty righty 3-5-6 check. 3-4-6, is he eager? Yes, he is. He'll fly to center. That's out number 2. If he wasn't eager, he would have walked, but he was too eager. And that's 2 down. So No got the job done there, but he's still out of the woodwork. You still got to get Trevor Boston to get out of the inning. 5-5-6, is he an ace? No. Sad sack? No. That's a double to right for Trevor Boston. That's a 2-run double. Both runs will score, and the Minutemen just blew this thing open. Now it's 4-1, and they are looking for some revenge from getting swept in Buffalo, and they're well on their way to it. A double by Trevor Boston that will score both Tazi and Kettle, and it is now 4-1 Minutemen. Big 2-out double there, as Derek No couldn't get that final out. And that'll bring up Conti. 3-3-4, ace or star. He is a semi-star. Dot gives it to him, so it'll be a pop-up to first. And that's going to end the inning. But No will finish out the inning going 2/3 of an inning. Show will go 5 1/3, but Show's on the hook for the loss because he has given up all 4 runs are now charged to Show to end the inning. And probably end his undefeated streak. He was 2-0 coming into the game, but it looks like he's going to drop to 2-1 unless something miraculous happens, because now you've given De La Rosa a 4-1 lead to work with as we go to the top of the 7th. And he will be facing Sargent, Autry, and Keel here in the top half of the 7th. De La Rosa, as I look at my score sheet, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16 in a row. He is retired as De La Rosa. 1-1-5. He's not fresh this time. Home Run King or Sad Sack will strike out. We got to see if he's a home run king or not. He's a semi-home run king. He's not, so he will not strike out. Instead, he's going to double to left field. So Todd Sargent gets a leadoff double. So the dot was big for Sargent not to come up on that one, and he doubles. So now the New England bullpen might be starting to stir a bit. Although that's the first blemish on De La Rosa since the first inning. And it's only the 3rd hit of the game for the Bees. That'll bring up Dallas Autry. 1-1-6 again. He's not fresh. Utility or Sad Sack, neither one. It's a base hit to left field, although it does have the delta symbol. So that single is going to turn into a double based on the delta from Dallas Autry. And so back-to-back doubles by the Bees cut the lead to 4-2. And De La Rosa might have just hit a wall or something because he just seemed to have lost it. And with J.R. Keel coming up, I think Steve Tower is going to make a move to the pen. That's going to be it for De La Rosa. They don't want to take any chances that he's going to continue to be fatigued and give up some cheap runs. So they will go to their bullpen for Burke Brewer, a right-hander out of the pen. Burke Brewer is an ace flash with control. He's actually a double ace on this first at-bat because he's coming in the middle of an inning. De La Rosa is going to go 6+, give up 2 runs, but the 3rd run is his responsibility as well. But he can win it. He cannot lose it. J.R. Keel, the batter, against Brewer. 2-4-6 control. Yes, he does have control. It's a ground ball back to the pitcher. And with a ground ball back to the pitcher, that means the runner is going to hold. So Autry will stay put at second base. 1 down for Lamont Clark. And you wonder, they're going to make the move. They're going to pinch hit for Clark. They want some offense. So they're going to go to our pregame guest, Ignacio Orta. He is a switch hitter with the slugging quality. And again, he is, in just a short time he's been here in 6 games, 17 at-bats, he's hitting .412. So Orta will pinch hit for Clark. And he will then be replaced by Ranieri in right field in the bottom half of the inning. So Ranieri will take over in right field, but right now, wait a minute.
Hey, Ronnie, what's going on here? We got batting out of order or something, I think.
You're right on that. I don't know how Lamont Clark got up there so quickly. It was not his at-bat. It's Rocky Oberbeck's at-bat, so I'm not sure what Lamont Clark was thinking of. He's actually going to still be in the game, so let's correct that. Of course, once they get down to Clark's part in the order, they would use Orta as a pinch hitter, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. It's actually Oberbeck who's going to get the call. That is a 1-2-4 control. Yes, he's got it. It's a ground ball to short. And that's going to be 2 down. Runner still has to be frozen at second base. So 2 down for Nick Rayford, speaking of shortstops, against Brewer. Autry still at second. 2-3-3, ace or star. He is an ace. And it's going to be a ground out to short to end the inning. So, boy, what a great job there by Burke Brewer. He comes in and shuts the door on the Bees to thwart any possible thought they might have had of a comeback. They do get a run. That's all they're going to get. And we go to the 7th inning stretch here in Bitty Beer Park. And somewhere there's a ukulele playing, Take Me Out to the Ball Game, but we're not going to be able to hear it. As we go to the bottom of the 7th, it is New England 4 and Buffalo 2. And we're going to need a new pitcher for Buffalo as Derek No's day is done. Coming up for the Minutemen, it's going to be Pastor, Carty, and Young, 2 righties and a switch. So they will go to right-hander Right-hander Mickey Gosnell will be coming on for the Bees. Mickey Gosnell. And on the season so far, Gosnell is 1-0 with an ERA of 0. In 5 games, he's pitched 4 innings. Given up no hits, no runs, no walks, and 6 strikeouts. So he's been about as good as you can get. And they're trusting him now to keep the Minutemen at bay. Here's Jimmy Pastor. He's coming in to start the inning, so he will not get the ace bump. Pastor 2-3-3, ace or star. He is a semi-star, but the decider die does not give it to him. So we skip that. Is he a slugger? He's a scrapper, not a slugger. So he's going to fly to center. And that's 1 away. Pastor is out of there. 1 down, and that's going to bring up Sean Carty. 2-3-6, double control. He does not have it. That's going to be a walk. Sean Carty draws a 1-out walk from Gosnell. That's the first walk he's given up this season. And with Carty at first and 1 down, that brings up Corbin Young. 2-4-6, control. He's got it. It's a ground ball back to the pitcher, Gosnell. So it's going to be a fielder's choice as they get Carty out at second. Young will reach on the fielder's choice. 2 down. Play is going to go 1-4 as Overbeck was covering second. And with 2 down and a runner at first, that brings up Dominic Tazi. 1-3-4. Goal catcher, no. Champion, no. We have outfield drama for the Bees. 2-2 on outfield drama. Center fielder gold. Yes, he is. Barkdahl is gold. So he will make the catch. Oh, wait a minute. Chases down, base hit, holds runner at first with throw. Okay, I thought he was going to catch this ball, but it did drop in. They're saying now it did drop in for a hit. So it'll drop in for a hit, unfortunately, for the Bees. The inning continues. So kind of got confused there on the wording, and it turns out we had every right to be confused as that drops in for a base hit. So Tazi is aboard on the single. Keeps the inning going for Dexter Ford. Runners at first and second, 2 down. 1-3-4. 1-3-4. Goal catcher, no. Champion, no. We're back to the same thing we had before. Outfield drama for the Bees. This could be trouble again. Same thing, 2-2. Yes, he's gold, but it's going to drop in for a base hit. So let's see if Young will score. Lead die of 2. Says 1 base unless he's active. Corbin Young is not active, so he will have to hold. And the bases are now loaded. And now Gosnell in trouble. Bases are loaded with 2 down for Mike Kettle, left-hander. And the Bees are going to make a move to the pen. They're going to bring in a left-hander, try to get out of the jam, keep this game from getting out of hand. They are going to Bobby Chang. Bobby Chang, the lefty. And Chang will get the ace quality on this at bat. Lefty on lefty matchup against Mike Kettle. 4-2 Minutemen. Bases are loaded though with 2 outs. This could be the ball game right here. A base hit pretty much puts it away. 3-5-6 is a left-right split, and we brought the lefty in to face the lefty, and it paid dividends. That's a Circle K strikeout, and that's going to end the inning. Boy, if they had left Gosnell in there, that would have been a 2-run single for Kettle. But instead, it's a strikeout. Ends the inning. Keeps the Minutemen off the board. And at the end of 7, it is still 4-2 New England, but the Bees still in the ball game. So we go to the top of the 8th. Brewer faced 3 batters. He's going to be semi-fresh coming in now. Bullpen activity still working for the Minutemen. They do have a left-hander, McNeil, loosening in the pen. But right now they're going to go with Brewer, even though he's semi-fresh. And Lamont Clark will now be called back. And they'll make the move they meant to make earlier, which is bringing in Ignacio Orta. And then Seth Ranieri will come in and play in right field the remainder of the game. So Orta it is to pinch hit here in the top of the 8th in a 4-2 ball game.
Ronnie, as we start the 8th, a reminder the 8th inning is sponsored by 8 Ball Billiards, featuring a full-service snack bar and 20 tables. We have more balls for you to play with than anyone in town.
Thank you for that, Kip. It's good to see you're back in somewhat sober again. So Ignacio Orta, the batter. 1, 2, 3, flash and fresh. He is. With the dot, he's fresh. It's a strikeout. So Orta didn't fare well there. He strikes out in the pinch. Ranieri will now take over in right field. As Orta and Ranieri have been used, we got Ruelas and Ziegler still on the bench. Back to the top of the order for Dollywall. 1-1-2. Is he flash? Yes, he is. Struck him out. So, boy, Brewer is getting it done. 2 down now for Dylan Hutto. 1-1-4. Is he fresh? Yes, he is. The doc gives it to him. It's a ground out to short. Conti puts it away, flips over to Young. Innings over. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Bees running out of outs. And they're about ready to drop the game to the Minutemen. That's going to be it for Brewer. He's going to go 2 innings, and they're going to cap him at 2 innings. And they'll bring in their closer to get the save, most likely. And the closer for the Minutemen, at least in my mind, could have been Brewer, but I think the closer in my mind is going to be Justin Beckwell. He's got double flash and double control, semi-star, so that's who's going to be coming in. Ranieri is now the new right fielder. And we'll get a new pitcher for the Bees here in the top of, or bottom of the 8th. Actually, no, Chang, let's see. Chang only faced 1 batter. He's going to stay in there. So they will keep Chang in there. He is now semi-fresh. It's lefty on lefty against Hinojosa. 4-5-6. Is he patient? No. He's going to fly to center. 1 away, and that's going to take us to the chemistry chart for the next at bat, which belongs to Trevor Boston. Chemistry chart. Bees semi-harmonious. Minutemen neutral. Now they're both neutral. 1-5. Pitching team harmony. No. It's going to be a bloop single. So a bloop single for Trevor Boston. He had a big double his last time up, and he gets a bloop single this time. So Trevor Boston. And isn't it appropriate that a fellow named Boston's on the Minutemen? So he is there with the base hit. It's going to bring up Conti. 3-3-5. Is the pitcher wild? No. Sad sack batter? No, he's not. It's going to be a single to right. And if he's stoic, he would steal unless he's stoic. We've already used the dot to determine he wasn't a sad sack. We had to re-roll and see if he's going to be stoic. Nope, he's not stoic, so he will steal. So Trevor Boston takes third. Conti will single and then steal second base. So, boy, some rough times there for the Bees, as I think Chang might be done. Chang might be done here as runners at second and third with only 1 out. The infield's going to have to come in. And with the righty Jimmy Pastor, they're going to go to right-hander Chris Page out of the bullpen. So Chris Page is on for the Bees to try to get out of this. The infield is in. Chris Page is going to be an ace in this particular at-bat. 5th pitcher used by the Bees, but They're trying to keep themselves in the game as much as possible. Again, infield is in for the leadoff man, Jimmy Pastor. 2-3-6 is double control. He doesn't have it, but the batter is eager, so he will strike out, and that, again, is the old house rule. When you're eager on the double control check, you strike out, you don't walk. So that's a big strikeout there for Chris Page. And that brings up Sean Carty, infield back to normal depth. 3-4-5, iron catcher no, good eye no, struck him out. So boy, Chris Page comes in and strikes out the two he faces. And that's going to end the inning. It's in blue. We would normally go to the right now chart, but the pitching change is going to override that. So nothing doing there for the Minutemen, but they hold a 4-2 lead as we go to the top of the ninth. And the new pitcher will be Justin Beckwell. Double flash with double control. And he's going to be facing Barkdahl, Sargent, and Autry. So if you're the Bees, these are the guys you want up there. These are the main players that you want up there to hit. Your best, arguably your three best hitters. So that's who you want up there. And a reminder, the ninth inning is brought to you by Strange Brew Magic Stores in Kenmore and Buffalo. Stop by either location, whether you need ninth inning magic or any kind of magic at all. Strange Brew will do the trick. And Kip, hopefully Strange Brew will send us some good vibes here up to New England. And see if we can't get a rally here in the top of the ninth. Get your rally cap going there, Kip. And see what we can do. Barkdahl, your batter, against Justin Beckwell. 3-4-6. Is he eager? He is not eager, so it's a leadoff walk. So Barkdahl gets aboard on a leadoff walk. We're going to the chemistry chart based on that. So that's what you need if you're the Bees. You need base runners. You're down by 2. You got to have base runners. That does bring the tying run to the plate. Now one swing of the bat, and we got a new ball game. So Barkdahl coaxes a walk, and here comes Todd Sargent on the chemistry chart. 2-5. Pitching team dissonance. No, they're not dissonance. It's a fly out to right. One away. So by playing them neutral, you think it's going to hurt the opponent, but it actually helped him out in that situation because they had no chance to be dissonant. They're strictly neutral. One away for Dallas Autry. 1-2-5. Is he a struggler? No. Is the batter patient? No, he's not. He will ground to third unless he's a whiffer. He is not a whiffer. So it's a ground ball to third, and with the lead die of 1, that's a 5-4-3 around the horn, double play, and the ball game is over. 5-4-3, double play around the horn. Boston to Hinojosa to Young, and the ball game is over. The New England Minutemen defeat the Buffalo Bees by the score of 4-2. Minutemen improved to 9-8. Buffalo drops to 12-5. And we'll be right back with the totals and wrap this thing up here from Biddy Beer Ballpark.
Welcome back to Biddy Bear Ballpark. Unfortunately, Strange Brew couldn't give us the magic we needed to get through in this game, and the Bees dropped the first of 3 here in New England to the Minutemen. And to give you the totals and wrap this thing up from New England from Biddy Bear Ballpark is the voice of the Bees, Ronnie Robinson.
Thank you, Kip. Go over our totals for the game. For the New England Minutemen, 4 runs, 13 hits, and no errors. For the Buffalo Bees, 2 runs, just 4 hits, and 1 error. Fernando De La Rosa, the winner, he went 6+, giving up 4 hits, 2 runs they were earned, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. Beckwell gets the save. The loss goes to Steve Show. And despite De La Rosa being so dominant, player of the game, in our opinion, is Isaias Hinojosa. His 2-run homer in the bottom of the 4th took a Bees 1-0 lead, gave the 2-1 lead to the Minutemen, which they never relinquished, and it kind of just turned the whole game around, momentum and everything, and just was roses for the Minutemen from there on. So Isaias Hinojosa, the player of the game, is voted on by Kip and myself, and the Minutemen now improved to 9-8. Buffalo drops to 12-5. New England 3 games out now, with 2 more to play in the series before the Bees travel further north and take on those Royal Blues from Montreal. So extended road trip. They started with 2 games in Milwaukee. They got 3 games here. That's 5, and then 3 more in Montreal will give them 8, and then 3 more in Nashville. It's an 11-game road trip that they're on, so they got to survive that. Right now, so far, they're 2-1 on that road trip, but that can catch up to you as you get further along on that road trip. So that's going to do it from here. The Minutemen, much to the joy of Steve Tower, defeat the Buffalo Bees by the score of 4-2. De La Rosa the winner, Show the loser, and Beckwell the save. So that's going to do it from here. For my broadcast partner, Kip Scary, this is Ronnie Robinson saying so long from Biddy Bear Ballpark. And until next time from north of the border, smooth sailing, and we will see you all from Montreal.